Welcome to the ultimate preview of the 42nd Breeders' Cup World Championships, where the spotlight shines brightest on the $7 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. Run at 1/4 miles on dirt, the Classic will see the world's best 3-year-olds and older horses collide for racing immortality and a winner's purse of $3.6 million. This year's field is a melting pot of generational talent, seasoned champions, and international powerhouses, each carving their own path to Del Mar. But here's the big question. Will Sierra Leone defend his crown? Will sovereignty continue his dominant streak? Or will journalism finally get revenge? Let's count down the top 15 contenders and break down their pedigree, form, and chances of classic glory. Kicking off our countdown at number 15, we meet the striking chestnut Highland Falls, a Godolphin homebred whose very bloodlines practically echo with Breeders' Cup glory. His pedigree is a story in itself. By Curlin, the 2007 Breeders' Cup Classic champion, and out of Round Pond, who captured the Breeders' Cup Distaff in 2006. Highland Falls boasts a genetic foundation perfectly tailored for stamina, grit, and the grandest stages of American racing. Trained by the ever-successful Brad Cox, this colt announced himself as a top-class runner with a breakout triumph in the 2024 Jockey Club Gold Cup at Saratoga. A victory that punched his ticket to last year's Classic. While his run in that race saw him finish 9th, Highland Falls rebounded in 2025 to display remarkable consistency at the very highest level. He turned heads with a gallant runner-up performance in the Whitney Stakes behind Sierra Leone, and followed that effort with a determined 3rd in the Jockey Club Gold Cup behind Antiquarian and Sierra Leone once again. Across 12 career starts, Highland Falls has accumulated 4 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3, boasting a solid in-the-money percentage of 83%, a testament to his reliability against elite company. While his win rate of 33.3% is modest compared to some of the flashier rivals in this year's Classic field, his hallmark has always been consistency rather than dominance. His versatility across distances from 1 mile to 1.25 miles ensures he's dangerous in almost any setup, while his pedigree suggests he should relish the 10-furlong challenge at Del Mar. At number 14, we spotlight the seasoned campaigner Disarm, a 5-year-old chestnut warrior, bred and raced by Winchell Thoroughbreds LLC. This son of the sensational gunrunner, a Breeders' Cup Classic champion himself, out of the Tappet mare Easy Tap, carries a pedigree brimming with both brilliance and staying power. Trained by Steve Asmussen, Disarm has carved out a career defined by resilience, durability, and frequent appearances against the toughest fields in North America. Across 18 starts, he has collected 4 wins, 3 runner-up finishes, and 4 third-place efforts, banking more than $1.5 million in earnings along the way. While his 22.2% win rate may not jump off the page, it masks a deeper truth. Disarm is a horse who shows up when the spotlight is brightest. Rarely disgraced even when facing the sport's most formidable names, the 2025 campaign has showcased his role as a consistent competitor rather than a headline-dominant star. He secured a solid 3rd in the Whitney Stakes at Saratoga, finishing behind Sierra Leone and Highland Falls, and followed that with a 5th in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, once again placing among the division's heavyweights. Earlier in the year, he picked up a sharp allowance victory at Oaklawn, proving that he still possesses the tactical edge to win when placed in the right spot. Historically, Disarm has had his moments in the spotlight, including a runner-up finish in the 2023 Travers Stakes behind Arcangelo and a 4th in the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Performances that cemented him as a horse with the class to mix it up on racing's grandest stages. Disarm's running style typically places him mid-pack, allowing him to grind his way into contention with a long, sustained run. Though he has often been just shy of top-tier brilliance, his durability and battle-tested resume make him the type of horse who could surprise if the pace scenario tilts in his favor at Del Mar. He is the classic definition of a dark horse contender, unlikely to be the betting favorite, but dangerous if things break his way in the heat of battle. Sliding in at number 13, we find one of the most exciting young faces in this year's lineup, Gosker, a 3-year-old gray colt who has captured the imagination of racing fans with his consistency and near-miss performances in America's biggest sophomore tests. Bred from a powerful cross of Nyquist, the 2016 Kentucky Derby hero, and the Tappet mare Gloria S., Gosker represents both speed and stamina in his pedigree. And under the guidance of trainer Brendan Walsh, he has swiftly emerged as a name to remember. Owned by Harvey A. Clark Racing Stables LLC, Gosger has made just 6 career starts, but in that short span, he has already put together a sterling resume, 2 victories and 3 second-place finishes, giving him a perfect 100% in the money record. His breakout came in the 2025 Lexington Stakes G3 at Keeneland, where he delivered a sharp performance to defeat Bracket Buster, stamping himself as a legitimate player heading into the Triple Crown season. At Pimlico, Gosger nearly shocked the racing world when he pushed journalism all the way to the wire in the Preakness Stakes, falling just half a length short in a thrilling finish. The story repeated itself at Monmouth Park, where he again finished second to journalism in the Haskell Stakes, once more proving he belonged with the very best. While his 6th-place effort in the Pennsylvania Derby showed that even the most consistent performers can have an off day, his overall campaign highlights a colt of tremendous talent and steady progression. What sets Gosger apart is not just his record but the manner in which he competes, always within striking range, always refusing to back down, and consistently showing the grit needed to stay competitive at classic distances. His win percentage of 40% is solid, but it's his ability to consistently hit the exacta against elite rivals that underscores his credibility as a top Breeders' Cup Classic contender. The challenge now is translating those near misses into a breakthrough victory on racing's grandest stage. At number 12, we spotlight Magnitude, a rising 3-year-old bay colt bred and raced by Winchell Thoroughbreds LLC under the expert guidance of Hall of Fame trainer Steve Asmussen. This well-built colt boasts a pedigree geared for stamina and toughness, being sired by Not This Time, a son of the great Giants Causeway, and out of Rockadelic, herself a daughter of Breeders' Cup Classic winner Bernardini. That blend of stamina and class has already translated into a strong race record. 10 starts, with 4 victories, 1 second and 1 third, giving him a sharp win percentage of 44.4%. His breakout moment came in the 2025 Risen Star Stakes G2 at Fairgrounds, where he asserted his dominance with a polished performance that established him as a legitimate Derby trail runner. Although his Lecomte Stakes effort earlier in the year was a disappointing 6th, he rebounded quickly with steady progression, later adding the Iowa Derby to his resume with a commanding display of speed and determination. Magnitude also held his own against elite company, finishing 3rd in the Travers Stakes behind Sovereignty and Bracket Buster, then following that effort with a game 2nd in the Pennsylvania Derby to Baeza. These back-to-back runs at the highest level showed his ability to compete with the very best in his division. With his pedigree geared toward excelling at 1¼ miles and his tactical versatility, Magnitude arrives at the Breeders' Cup Classic as a colt with both upside and proven durability. Though still seeking that elusive Grade 1 victory, his ability to grind and stay the distance makes him a dark horse threat at Del Mar in 2025. At number 11, we turn our attention to Goal Oriented, a lightly raced yet highly promising 3-year-old colt who has already proven he belongs on the biggest stage. Foaled on May 14, 2022, this dark bay son of Not This Time, the same sire as rival Magnitude, comes from a strong female family through Busy Caroline, herself a half-sister to multiple graded stakes winners. Trained by Bob Baffert and owned by Powerhouse Connections SF Racing, Starlight Racing, and partners, Goal Oriented has raced just 5 times, but in those limited starts, he has produced 2 wins and 1 third, giving him a 40% strike rate. His journey began impressively, breaking his maiden at Santa Anita before quickly backing it up with an allowance victory at Churchill Downs. From there, Baffert threw him straight into Grade 1 company, where he acquitted himself admirably. He ran 4th in the Preakness Stakes, beaten by the likes of Journalism and Gosger, before showing marked improvement in the Haskell Stakes, where he battled bravely to finish 3rd behind Journalism and Gosger once again, both just ahead at the wire. Most recently, he put in a determined 3rd-place finish in the Pennsylvania Derby, staying on resolutely against Magnitude and Baeza in a fast-paced renewal. While his inexperience compared to older campaigners is notable, his pedigree, training, and steady upward trajectory make him a dangerous horse on the rise. Still improving with every start, Goal-Oriented represents the kind of colt who could peak at exactly the right time, giving him the potential to shock the more established names in the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic. Cracking the top 10 at number 10 is Antiquarian, a late-developing 4-year-old chestnut colt, whose perseverance and upward form cycle have made him one of the most intriguing contenders heading into the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic. Bred by Brereton C. Jones and owned by Centennial Farms, this talented runner is trained by the ever-reliable Todd Pletcher, who has campaigned numerous Breeders' Cup winners. Antiquarian is by Preservationist, a son of Arch known for his stamina, and out-of-the-mare Lifetime Memory by Istan, bringing together bloodlines that thrive over classic distances. His record speaks to a horse that needed time to fully blossom. 9 starts, with 4 wins and 3 seconds, good for a 44.4% win rate. After showing flashes of ability, with a victory in the Peter Pan Stakes G3 in 2024, he endured setbacks but returned with renewed vigor in 2025. A pair of runner-up finishes in the Blame G3 at Churchill Downs and the Suburban G2 at Saratoga set the stage for his breakthrough. That career-defining moment came on August 31, 2025, when Antiquarian upset a star-studded field to win the Jockey Club Gold Cup at Saratoga, defeating none other than Sierra Leone, the reigning Breeders' Cup Classic champion, and stamping his ticket to Del Mar. This victory was significant not only for its prestige, but also for the way he accomplished it, demonstrating a relentless stretch drive and tactical speed that could prove vital in the Classic. Antiquarian's story is one of steady growth, resilience after setbacks, and perfectly timed peak form. With confidence now surging, he brings a dangerous combination of stamina, momentum, and fresh legs into the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic, making him a horse the top contenders cannot afford to underestimate. Number 9. Mindframe, a Dark Bay colt, is the definition of a late-blooming superstar who has hit his stride as a 4-year-old. Bred in Maryland by R. Larry Johnson, he is campaigned by Rapole Stable and St. Elias Stables and trained by Todd Pletcher, who has guided many top older horses to championship form. His pedigree blends speed and stamina, being by constitution out of a Street Sense mare, Walk of Stars. Unlike many of his classic rivals, Mindframe never raced at 2, but he made up for lost time in a hurry. As a 3-year-old, he was runner-up in both the Belmont Stakes and the Haskell Stakes, showing he belonged against the best of his crop. His 4-year-old season has been a revelation. Victories in the Gulfstream Park Mile G2, the Churchill Downs Stakes G1, and most impressively, the Stephen Foster, where he defeated Sierra Leone, the reigning Breeders' Cup Classic champion, to earn a Win and You're In ticket. With a record of 7 starts, 5 wins, 2 seconds, and a 71.4% win rate, Mindframe enters Del Mar as one of the most dangerous improving horses in training. He may have misfired in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, but if he rebounds, his powerful stride and grinding style could make him a classic spoiler. Number 8. Hit Show has proven himself on the international stage and brings grit, versatility, and Hit Show has accumulated over $8.5 million in earnings. His crowning achievement came in the 2025 Dubai World Cup, where he conquered a world-class field makes him a dark horse with the potential to shock the field at Del Mar. Number 7. Few classic contenders come with as much intrigue as Delacroix, a 3-year-old Irish-bred colt who represents the power of international bloodlines. By the Great Dubawi and out of Tepin, a U.S. Hall of Fame mare and multiple G1 winner, Delacroix carries a pedigree that blends European turf stamina with American dirt brilliance. Owned by the Coolmore Partnership and trained by the legendary Aidan O'Brien, Delacroix has already proven himself as one of Europe's best middle-distance runners. He boasts 11 starts, 6 wins and 4 seconds, highlighted by victories in the Coral Eclipse G1 and the Irish Champion Stakes, the latter granting him a Win and You're In ticket to the Breeders' Cup turf. Yet the intrigue lies in Coolmore's willingness to experiment. Delacroix has never raced on dirt, but his connections are known for bold placements, and his American pedigree through Tepin suggests at least a chance he could adapt. Should they aim him toward the Classic instead of the turf, Delacroix would instantly become the most fascinating wildcard in the field, capable of rewriting the script at Del Mar. At number 6, we have Baeza, a colt whose story is defined by resilience, consistency, and finally a well-earned breakthrough victory on the big stage. A striking bay son of McKinsey out of Puka, he boasts an enviable pedigree as the half-brother to 2 American Classic winners, Mage, the 2023 Kentucky Derby hero, and Dornick, the 2024 Belmont Stakes champion. That bloodline alone makes him one of the most talked-about runners of his generation. Trained by the patient horseman John Sheriffs, Baeza has compiled a career record of 8 starts, with 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. While his 28.6% win rate may appear modest compared to some rivals, his 100% in the money record tells the true story. This is a colt who always shows up and refuses to run a bad race. His 2025 season has been marked by gritty efforts against the best in his division. He was a gallant second to Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby before placing third behind Sovereignty in both the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes. In the Jim Dandy at Saratoga, he was once again a close second to Sovereignty, reinforcing his reputation as a relentless challenger. But on September 20th at Parx, Baeza finally had his shining moment, storming from off the pace to win the Pennsylvania Derby by more than 2 lengths. That victory validated his class, rewarded his consistency, and punched his ticket to the Breeders' Cup Classic. What makes Baeza especially dangerous at Del Mar is his adaptability. He had shown he can stalk, sit mid-pack, or close strongly depending on the race flow. His durability has been tested in America's toughest 3-year-old races, and now, with a confidence-boosting Grade 1 win in his pocket, he enters the Classic as a live contender. Baeza may not have the flashiest record, but his toughness, elite pedigree, and ability to peak at the right time make him a serious player in the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic. Coming in at number 5 is Forever Young, the globe-trotting superstar who has captured the imagination of fans from Tokyo to Dubai to Louisville. Bred at the world-renowned Northern Farm in Japan, he is by Real Steel, the Dubai Turf champion, out of the American mare Forever Darling, a graded stakes winner in her own right. This blend of Japanese toughness and American speed has produced a colt with extraordinary international credentials. Trained by Yoshito Yahagi for prominent owner Susumu Fujita, Forever Young has become a household name in global racing. With a career tally of 11 starts, 8 wins, and 3/3, Forever Young owns an incredible 100% in the money record, a testament to his consistency against world-class competition. He rose to prominence in 2024 with victories in the Saudi Derby and the UAE Derby, before proving his mettle on U.S. soil by finishing 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. Later that year, he returned to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup Classic, where he ran another outstanding 3rd against older horses, confirming his ability to handle the American dirt racing style. The following season elevated his star status. In February 2025, Forever Young captured the Saudi Cup, one of the richest races in the world, stamping his authority against a stellar international field. He then ran a respectable 3rd in the Dubai World Cup behind Hit Show, further underscoring his resilience across continents. Perhaps the most important factor heading into Del Mar is his prior Breeders' Cup experience and his proven ability to adapt to the U.S. racing tempo. Few horses in the 2025 Classic field combine his depth of experience, global versatility, and relentless finishing power. Forever Young has already beaten some of the best dirt horses on the planet and has nothing left to prove, yet he arrives at Del Mar hungry for redemption after last year's 3rd-place finish. With his world-class resume and battle-tested durability, Forever Young is poised to be one of the most formidable challengers in the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic. Sliding into the number 4 slot is Journalism, the headline-making colt who swept through the American Classics with power, poise, and a touch of flair. By 2-time Horse of the Year Curlin and out of the Grade 2 winning mare Mopetism, Journalism was bred in Kentucky by Don Alberto Corporation, combining stamina-rich bloodlines with prudent dirt excellence. He is trained by Michael McCarthy and campaigned by a partnership featuring Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners and the influential Coolmore Group, making him one of the most well-connected horses in training. Journalism's record reads like a season-long highlight reel. As a juvenile, he announced himself with victories in the Los Alamitos Futurity G2 and the San Felipe Stakes, signaling that he would be a major force on the Derby trail. He confirmed that promise in the spring of 2025, capturing the Santa Anita Derby with a grinding stretch drive. That victory propelled him to Louisville, where he finished a strong second to Sovereignty in the Kentucky Derby. Just 2 weeks later, he delivered his career-defining performance, surging to victory in the Preakness Stakes with a powerful late run, cementing his place in history as a classic winner. The Belmont Stakes saw him run another courageous second to Sovereignty, proving he could handle the grueling 1.5-mile test. Over the summer, he added the Haskell Stakes to his resume, again defeating top 3-year-olds and stamping himself as the division's most consistent performer outside of Sovereignty. Most recently, Journalism tested older horses in the Pacific Classic at Del Mar, where he ran second to the Brilliant Fierceness, showing that he belongs among the elite in the handicap division. With multiple Grade 1 victories, a Triple Crown race win, and consistent top-level form, Journalism enters the Breeders' Cup Classic as one of the most dangerous three-year-olds in training. His combination of stamina, tactical speed, and battle-tested grit makes him a legitimate threat to older stars like Sierra Leone, Fierceness, and Hit Show. For fans of American racing, Journalism represents the heart of the 2025 Classic generation, and he'll look to write his boldest headline yet at Del Mar in the Breeders' Cup Classic. At number 3, we find the reigning Breeders' Cup Classic champion, Sierra Leone, who returns to Del Mar with unfinished business and the aura of a defending king. This dark bay son of Gunrunner out of the mare Heavenly Love has combined pedigree power with relentless consistency, amassing over $7 million in earnings across 13 starts with a resume that gleams with resilience. Trained by Chad Brown for Powerhouse Connections, Peter Brandt, and the Coolmore Group, Sierra Leone captured the 2024 Breeders' Cup Classic with a stirring late rally, defeating Fierceness and Forever Young to seal his place among the greats. His 3-year-old season was marked by key victories in the Risen Star and Bluegrass Stakes, plus gutsy runner-up finishes in the Kentucky Derby and Jim Dandy, showcasing both his heart and stamina. Although narrowly beaten in the 2025 Stephen Foster by Mindframe and the Jockey Club Gold Cup by Antiquarian, Sierra Leone bounced back with a commanding triumph in the Whitney Stakes, earning his win-and-you're-in ticket. What makes him especially dangerous is his consistency. In every major race, he has shown up in the money, whether battling in deep American classics or dueling against generational rivals. With his blend of tactical patience, strong finishing kick, and proven experience in the classic spotlight, Sierra Leone stands as a battle-hardened warrior aiming to become a rare 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner. For bettors and fans alike, his presence elevates the 2025 edition into a clash of titans. Sliding into number 2 is Fierceness, the fiery son of City of Light, trained by Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher, and a horse who has built a career defined by brilliance and redemption. Crowned champion 2-year-old male of 2023, after an emphatic Breeders' Cup juvenile win, he carried that dominance into his sophomore season with a record-breaking 13.5-length Florida Derby G1 victory. Though his Kentucky Derby dreams crumbled in a shocking 15th-place finish, Fierceness rebounded with grit and class, storming to victories in the Jim Dandy G2 and Travers Stakes G1 at Saratoga. By the close of 2024, he nearly captured Classic glory, finishing a game second to Sierra Leone in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now at 4, he has sharpened into an even more complete horse, setting a new track record in the Elishaba Stakes and stamping himself with a powerful triumph over Journalism in the 2025 Pacific Classic at Del Mar, the very venue of this year's Classic. Fierceness brings a record of 13 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, and 1/3, reflecting both dominance and resilience. With raw early speed, tactical versatility, and a proven ability to bounce back stronger after setbacks, Fierceness embodies the spirit of a champion seeking revenge. For fans, his quest at Del Mar is a narrative of unfinished business, a chance to turn his runner-up Classic finish into the crowning jewel of a career already marked by record-breaking brilliance. Claiming the top spot, we have the phenomenon that is Sovereignty, the Godolphin homebred by Into Mischief and trained by Bill Mott, whose meteoric rise has captured the imagination of the racing world. With a record of 9 starts, 6 wins, and 2 seconds, and major victories in 3 of the year's most prestigious races, Sovereignty stands as the undeniable favorite for the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic. His campaign began with promise in Florida, finishing runner-up in the Florida Derby before exploding onto the national stage in the Kentucky Derby, where he overcame a wide trip and poor break to power home for an emphatic victory. He followed that feat with an even more authoritative performance in the Belmont Stakes, dominating over a strong field that included Journalism and Baeza. But it was his breathtaking 10-length romp in the Travers Stakes at Saratoga that cemented his status as a generational superstar, producing one of the most visually stunning performances of the decade. Unlike many contenders, Sovereignty has shown the ability to adapt sitting close to the pace, stalking, or powering home from behind, and this tactical versatility makes him exceptionally difficult to beat. His pedigree, blending Into Mischief's speed with Mott's masterful conditioning, has produced a colt with stamina, class, and a devastating turn of foot. Entering Del Mar, Sovereignty isn't just the horse to beat. He's the horse defining the era, a potential all-time great ready to crown his season with the ultimate Breeders' Cup Classic triumph. The 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic is shaping up to be an unforgettable clash, a generational showdown where rising three-year-olds like Sovereignty and Journalism face off against proven older champions such as Sierra Leone and international stars like Forever Young. With rivalries reignited, rematches set, and even the wild card possibility of Delacroix switching from turf to dirt, this year's Classic promises drama from start to finish. One thing is certain: whoever crosses the wire first at Del Mar will have truly earned their place in racing history. For the latest updates and official entries, be sure to visit the Breeders' Cup official site. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth horse racing content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.